Hi there, I'm Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy. Welcome to the Night Sky this week for June 12th, 2023. Hope you're doing great. Had some great sky watching, maybe perhaps this past weekend. It was very hazy for me here. Lots of smoke in the upper atmosphere, creating, really not good, very good conditions for viewing the sky. But whenever you get a chance, when it does clear up, when the winds are in the right direction, it's good. Of course, this is all due to the forest fires in North America, where I am, in Canada. And so it's a lot of a lot to deal with in terms of all that smoke, and it's the deteriorating air quality. So hopefully this is going to change soon. There's a lot of firefighters up north. Folks from firefighters from different parts of the world are coming to Canada to help fight these fires. And hopefully we'll get some good quality air back again soon. With that said, let's turn to the planetarium program and see what's up in the sky for this week. All right. So if we move into the sky that's visible on, let's say, right now, as I'm speaking, Monday. So we're going to move this over and see that this is going to be on Monday evening, just after local sunset on my Sky Safari Planetarium program. Here we go. And this is what it looks like. So we've got this really neat setup of the bright planet Venus. Venus is absolutely amazing. It knocks your eyes out. You can't miss it. It's looking towards the western part of the sky, visible around the world, literally. And what's going to be really interesting is, of course, there is another planet nearby, Mars, right there. I'm marking it. I'm going to zoom in on this pair too. And I'm going to put it an hour, 2 hours after sunset. There we go. And what's really interesting is if you zoom in on where where Venus is, it's in the constellation Cancer, the Crab. So I'm going to move that up here so you can see it right in the middle. There we go. And if we zoom in even more, what you'll notice is it's near our friend, the Beehive cluster. Now, we've talked about the Beehive multiple times in relation to Mars, particularly just a little while back. Mars, a couple of weeks ago, was pairing up with this beautiful cluster, but Venus is even brighter, and it makes an even more spectacular pairing with the Beehive star cluster. So this is the view, basically. I'm going to share with you what generally the view would be through binoculars. This is pretty much what you would see with binoculars like that. This beautiful deep sky object we call a star cluster, basically a bunch of stars, over hundreds of stars that are packed together, were born together from the same cloud. It is 610 light years away from us. So just imagine it takes over 6 centuries for that light to reach us. And then next door is planet Venus. And Venus, by the way, is 96 or 95.7 million kilometers away. And it's 5.3 light minutes away, Venus is. So quite a difference. It takes light from Venus just over 5 minutes to reach our eyes, while next door, this beautiful star cluster that you're going to be seeing through your binoculars, through maybe perhaps telescopes, just think it takes over 6 centuries for that light from all those stars to reach your eye. It's really amazing. It's time travel that we're talking about here. So that's the view basically tonight as we're broadcasting on June 12th, Monday. But by Tuesday, look what happens. If I switch this view to Tuesday, you'll see that Venus now pops over to the other side of the Beehive cluster. So if you get clouded out tonight on Monday night, Tuesday night's another great night. And if we go to Wednesday, Venus is a little bit more farther away, still within the same binocular field of view. It's something that's easy to do. You can do that even Wednesday and even Thursday. The pair will be visible through the same pair of binoculars. Really, really neat. But really the closest is Monday and Tuesday. So this is Tuesday, this is Monday, and I would say Tuesday is my favorite. I would say is the closest that the pairing will be together. And you can see if I even zoom in even close up, you would be able to see part of a major part of, this is through the eyepiece of a telescope, you'll be able to see both Venus and part of the star cluster together. Really something spectacularly beautiful. So again, this is evening, an hour to 2 hours after your local sunset, Monday night, Tuesday night. You don't want to miss that. Now, for those of you that are early birds, you may have noticed that the moon is in the early morning skies now. Last week we had the full moon. Now we have the waning crescent moon. So here I go. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to put this now to, I'm going to go hours ahead. This is going to be like in the early morning. Let me go back to Tuesday morning. So this is going to be tomorrow morning. Looking towards the east, what you'll notice is this beautiful lineup of worlds. Let me just zoom out. There we go. So there's the sun rising there in the east, and then you have this lineup of planets. Now, if you're in the southern hemisphere, this lineup will be on the other side of the sun. So it'll be over here in this angle. But here in the northern hemisphere, we're looking at this angle. So it really depends on where you are on the Earth, the angle of this alignment of worlds. It's really beautiful. There's the crescent moon next to Jupiter. Saturn is way off onto the southern skies. Again, this is about an hour before your local sunrise, I would say is your best time to check this out. But this is so Tuesday morning. This is where look where the moon is. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Fantastic stuff. And then look, the moon is going to pair up with Jupiter really close on Wednesday morning, the 14th of June. So mark that down on your calendar. Definitely it's something that you want to see if you can get up, is the crescent moon and Jupiter pairing. It's just going to look so spectacular. Here it is close up, as you can see it like that. Really just beautiful, the pairing together. And of course, if you have telescopes, you can see the moons of Jupiter and some of the cloud belts on Jupiter. Really fantastic stuff. Then if we go to Thursday, look at the moon. The moon is a thin crescent moon is going to pair up with Uranus. Now, this is going to be something that definitely, if you go out earlier in the evening, you can see it. I mean, earlier in the morning, I should say. Sort of, I would say from this about at least an hour and a half before your local sunrise, you'll be able to see, if it's dark enough, Uranus next to the moon. Now, Uranus right here is next to the moon. You can see it. The pair will be really impressive through a telescope and binoculars. And just think that the Uranus is, look how far away it is. It is 3 billion kilometers away. It takes light almost 170 minutes to travel from Uranus to reach your eye. Remember, Uranus is a planet that doesn't produce its own light. It's just reflecting the same sunlight that we receive here. But it's way 3 billion kilometers away from us. And there's the moon, which is only about 400,000 kilometers away from us. Just a gorgeous sight together. And then if we look a little bit later, let me just put this closer to sunrise. And what you'll see later, this is Thursday morning. Okay, so Thursday morning, this is the view. If we kind of move forward, let me show you what happens. Look at this. The moon is going to be right above, sitting right above this razor thin crescent moon above Mercury, the innermost planet. This is going to be a challenge because of the glare from the dawn, from the sun that's going to be peeking over the horizon a half hour or an hour later. Mercury, you'll have a short little window of opportunity to see it next to the moon. The moon is a great guidepost. Take your binoculars. This is when you do take those binoculars to look at that pairing. A really impressive sight together. You don't want to miss it. So that's basically the big highlights for the week. I mean, definitely this beautiful lineup of planets and the moon jumping from day to day from the different places. So it's going to start off by Tuesday over here, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Really spectacular. And then that means that you can see that the moon is heading towards a new moon, which is going to happen on Sunday, which means that this weekend is coming up is going to be a great time to look and learn about constellations. No glare from the moon, looking at deep sky objects. It's a fantastic time to do that. So do take advantage of that. And of course, those of you that are still interested in that supernova that everyone's talking about, let me just put that up in the sky here. We'll go into the evening time. Where is that supernova? Well, if you're in the northern hemisphere, it's well positioned. It's still hanging in there at about 11.1, 11.3 magnitude. So you do need a telescope to see this, and you need to be able to locate this faint fuzzy galaxy called M101, or the Pinwheel galaxy. It's right off the handle of the Big Dipper. You can see the Big Dipper in the northwest sky right there, hanging in the northwest. And I'll just punch into my trusty Sky Safari, M101, M101. There we go. And I'm going to ask it to center it. There is the galaxy just off of the handle of the Big Dipper. Isn't that cool? It makes it actually pretty easy to find. With binoculars, you should be able to see the Pinwheel galaxy, but to see the supernova at the galaxy itself is about 7 to 8 magnitude overall. Remember, it is a spiral galaxy we can see face on. Here's a beautiful image of it. This is a documented image before the supernova. And if you are interested in knowing more about that, I have a good kind of top 10 beginners observing tip guide that I've put together. I'll put a link in the comments right after the show so you can go and explore this yourself. But it's in M101, which is the Pinwheel galaxy. That's where all the action is. And the supernova should be visible for the next month or so, maybe 2 months. Perhaps some experts are saying. It's basically a giant exploding star. Again, it's just off the handle of the Big Dipper. You can see the Big Dipper is on its side. It's in the constellation, of course, Ursa Major, the Great Bear, which is in the northwestern part of the sky after sunset. And the later you go out to view it, the darker the sky, the better chance you have of finding the galaxy that is hosting this supernova, this giant exploding star that's made so much news the last few weeks. So do check that out. So, that's a lot of stuff, guys. So if you are interested in astronomy and you want to explore some more, I've got the perfect book for you. It's my backyard guide to the night sky. It's out by National Geographic. It's a bestseller thanks to you guys. Thanks so much for your support. And it's a small, soft cover, perfect for taking in your backpack, going traveling, and it gives you a great overview of the hobby of astronomy and lots and lots of sky charts of all these good stuff that I talk about. If you're interested in something a little bit more meaningful, then the Stargazer's Atlas is your bet. It's something that you don't take outside. It's 6.5 pounds, coffee table book, but it includes every single constellation that's visible around the world, or all 88, including mythology and lots, hundreds and hundreds of deep sky objects to view with small and large telescopes. So really a lot of fun there. Wow. So I'm going to be posting a lot of sky charts throughout the week, space news. You don't want to miss any of that. So please do consider subscribing to my channel. If you like these videos I put out every Monday, please do consider signing up and joining my pages, whether it's on Facebook you're watching, or YouTube, or Twitter. Thank you so much for your support every week. I look forward to seeing you guys. And until next time, as I always do, I wish you guys clear skies. Bye-bye.